begin to change that culture that you all talked about of athletes not wanting to report their injuries? You know, working at the NCAA, you know, that's what we're trying to explore right now. We're doing some research to try to understand the culture of reporting behaviors with respect to concussion. One thing that we have found is that teammates are more likely to report another teammate because they care about them, but they're more likely to say that, well, I'll be fine, I can play through it. I don't want to let the team down, but I care enough about my teammate to report the symptoms to the athletic trainer, but I feel like I can take care of it on my own. So how can we begin to start to change that culture, knowing what we know now about concussions and knowing kind of what it is? You know, what can we do? Is there any thoughts on how we can start that?
Yeah. In regards to professional sports, 2 words: guaranteed contracts. That would certainly help. You know, when you don't have to fear losing your job because you have an ankle injury. I mean, that's essentially how my career got ended. You know, had a terrible ankle injury, never was able to recover. You know, and I basically played on a broken ankle because I didn't want to say anything about my ankle, and it just got worse and worse. And then, you know, tried to come back and essentially just wouldn't hold up. So, and then again, college sports scholarships aren't guaranteed. So now they're year to year, so they get renewed every year. So if a young man is guaranteed at least to have that stability, whether it be an athletic scholarship, you know, which equates to education, or professionally, you have a guaranteed contract. If I'm going to sign this contract, that means you guarantee me this money for these amount of years that I signed for. That would help.
Yeah, I agree. We don't see, when you're going through that injury, you don't see the positive, like if you get it taken care of now, you'll be okay in the long run. Like he said, everyone instantly thinks about the side effects to it, losing your job or losing your scholarship or, you know, your spot on the team. And so if it's created to where that they don't have to worry about that, I definitely think that would open up a lot more doors and windows to people being more open to sharing their injury or trying to get help and actually wanting to get help because they know it'll be better in the outcome.
More questions?
My name is Juwan Alden, and I have a question for all 3 of you. I want to know, besides sports in your high school or college years, did you attend any activities, like any events, anything, clubs, anything?
I go to the club.
Yeah, like clubs. Did y'all do any clubs and stuff in your high school and college years? Volunteer work or something?
Oh. So it's like social activities outside the sport.
Yeah.
Volunteering.
Right.
Well, put it this way. Let me see. School, work, chores. Wasn't a whole lot of time. And mom and dad didn't play. You know, so it's you have a responsibility as a young man and a young woman to family first. And if you have any extra time, mom and dad, if they teach you about appreciation, you volunteer in various places. I did a lot of that in high school. So sometimes you get a chance to see how the world lives, and we are not privileged, even though we think that we are. You know, God controls the clock that we run on every single day. And the more you do good, the more He extends your life.
Well, I believe, you know, for Chicago Public Schools, you all have to have a certain amount of community service hours, correct? But no.
Right.
We go to school.
Right, I mean, you still have to do, you know, some extra activity. You know, say it was the same way when I was in high school, you know, you had to give X amount of hours to community service. I worked, I was actually in the gospel choir when I was in high school. So yeah, I mean, I did a lot. You know, I wanted to, you know, be a well-rounded person. So, you know, athletics didn't particularly define me as a person. So I was involved in, I played piano for a bit. So yeah, I mean, you have to be, you know, you're continuing to grow as a man or a woman. So it's good to be well-rounded.
Yeah, I agree. And sports helped me to be more well-rounded. In high school, I was one of those Chicago public school kids that had to do community service and everything as part of the requirement to graduate. But in college and post-collegiate, I was able to do a lot of volunteer work because of my participation in sports, and I actually took a mission trip to Haiti and got to work out there. So I've been to some pretty cool places because of sports and athletics.
Did we answer your question? I'm not for sure. Was that what you wanted?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, in the back.